Ball Talk family, what's going on? Of course, I'm your host, Paul, back with another episode of Ball Talk with Paul. And tonight we have a loaded episode for you guys. We have some NFL trade deadline madness going on, big time names on the move, Cowboys retooling, and the Eagles loading up their defense. Also, we have some NBA talk. Luka Doncic is playing out of his mind right now. And does Ja Morant really want to be in Memphis? Then we have some college football and college basketball tonight. So just lock in with us because it's going to be a great episode. This might be the wildest NFL trade deadline in recent memory. We have legit contenders going all in, and then we have middle of the pack teams doing whatever they can just to stay relevant. First, let's talk about Mr. Sauce Gardner getting traded from the New York Jets to the Indianapolis Colts in exchange for 2 first-round picks and a wide receiver in Adonai Mitchell. Now, the Colts were desperate to find some extra help in their secondary, and man, did they get that with Sauce, because we all know the caliber of player Sauce Gardner is. He won the Defensive Rookie of the Year his first year in the league with 20 pass breakups and 2 interceptions, and he also has been All-Pro 2 times in his career so far. Now, he has been on the downside these last few years, but I think that's just because he was unmotivated in New York. He knew he wasn't playing winning football, and he just didn't really care about his play. But now that he's with the Indianapolis Colts, who's leading in their division and top in the AFC, I know he will be extra motivated to do whatever he can to help those guys get more wins, because they are desperate to try to fix that back end on their defense. And pairing him with Mekhi Blackman, Kenny Moore II, and Charvarius Ward when he gets back off of IR, the Colts secondary is looking very scary. There's not going to be too many teams that can pass on those caliber of a cornerback. So I like what the Colts did here. I'm going to give them an A+ for this trade because they desperately needed a lockdown corner, and Sauce Gardner is just that. Now, the Jets, they were not finished there dealing big-time names. They also dealt their 3-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Quinnen Williams to the Dallas Cowboys in exchange for 2 picks and Mozzie Smith. Now, Quinnen Williams is definitely a problem in that interior defensive line. He's a run stopper. He knows how to penetrate the middle of the offensive line with ease. And he's a great piece for Dallas because they needed help stopping the run on the inside. Now they can match him with Kenny Clark, who they just recently got from the Green Bay Packers in their Michael Parsons trade. So their inside defensive line is pretty solid right now. But they still have question marks on the edge. Who can rush the passer whenever they need a stop? But that is a start with Quinnen Williams. I do like that pickup for them. So I would give this trade an A because he is definitely a piece for the future. I don't know how much he will help them right now, but if they get somebody in next year's draft who can rush that edge, there would definitely be a problem on their defensive line. So look out for Quinnen Williams on the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys weren't done there. They also traded for Cincinnati Bengals Logan Wilson in exchange for a 7th-round pick. Now, Logan Wilson, he's not a big-time name, but he seems like he can be pretty serviceable. He has about 315 solo tackles on his career, 11 interceptions, and he's about 6'2" and 245 pounds. So a solid run-stopping linebacker and also a linebacker that can find the football in the air. But I don't know how much he'll help the Cowboys because they desperately need some secondary help because that is their biggest issue. But that is a good start getting Logan to go along with Quinnen and hopefully stopping the run a little bit better for the Cowboys. So we shall see what these trades turn out for them. But I will have to give Logan Wilson a B- because he's not really a guy that's going to come in and change things instantly, but he is definitely a better piece for the future. Another semi-big name that was on the move is Jakobi Meyers. He got traded from the Las Vegas Raiders to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, this is another weapon for Trevor Lawrence that he desperately needed, with Travis Hunter going on IR recently and Brian Thomas just not being as effective as he was his rookie year. Hopefully, Jakobi Meyers comes in and brings an offensive spark that they are looking for. Now, Jakobi, he is a journeyman himself. He started off with the Patriots. He's been on another team, I believe, but hopefully he finds a home in Jacksonville because I know he has the talent to be serviceable in this league, but he just hasn't had the opportunities like he's looking for. So I have to give this trade probably a B+ because they needed a receiver bad and they're trying to establish themselves back in the AFC South So hopefully Jacoby Myers gives them that spark that they're looking for. Last but certainly not least, we have to talk about Howie Roseman cooking up again. Traded for Baltimore Ravens cornerback Jair Alexander and Miami Dolphins defensive end Jalen Phillips. Now, Jair has had a down year this year with Baltimore. He hasn't really played in too many games, but that is okay because we know the type of talent Jair has. He is a two-time Pro Bowler. He has 70 pass breakups in his career and also 12 interceptions to go along with that. So at his best, he is a great corner. And if we can even get half of that in Philadelphia, we would hit a home run with that trade. And then also Jalen Phillips from the Miami Dolphins, he is a serviceable defensive end too. He has 26 career sacks and then also a 14.6 pass rush win percentage right now. So one of the best in the league at getting to the quarterback. And as long as these guys can stay healthy, these are some great pickups for Philadelphia. And I love what they bring to us because we desperately needed help rushing the passer and getting stops. So I'm excited to see what these guys can do. And I expect them to play Monday night against the Green Bay Packers. It will be a homecoming for Mr. Jair Alexander. As we all know, that's where he started off his career. So I'm excited to see these guys flying around in that midnight green. But I have to give this trade an A+ because we needed these positions in a desperate manner, and Howie Roseman went out and got it. So shout out to Howie Roseman for being the best GM in sports, and I can't wait to see Jair and Jalen do their thing in Philadelphia. Now let's talk some big NFL matchups that are going on this week. First matchup is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up against the New England Patriots. Now the Patriots are 7-2 and the Buccaneers are 6-2 going into this matchup. So both teams are having great success this year, but somebody has to lose. And it's going to be a battle because both teams are defensive minded. The New England Patriots are led by Mike Vrabel, a defensive minded coach, and Todd Bowles for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is also a defensive mind. So it's going to be interesting to see what the game plans look like for both teams and who will execute. Now, Drake May, I don't think he's really been battle tested this year yet. Now, he did beat the Buffalo Bills, of course, but we all know those division games can go either way. Now, he has to show he can win outside of his division and conference in a big fashion. And I'm not sure if he can do that in Tampa because Tampa Bay is a hard place to play. And they just have a game plan usually for quarterbacks of Drake May's caliber. So we shall see what the game unfolds for the Patriots. Now, the Tampa Bay Bucks, they're coming off a bye. They still don't have Bucky Irvin yet. I heard he didn't practice all week. So that is a up one for the Patriots. But Baker Mayfield is a baller, and he comes to play every Sunday. So I'm sure he will be fired up for this matchup. But I have to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here, people, just because Tampa's at home. They're coming off a bye. They're well-rested and ready to play. And New England, I don't know how they were doing at Florida Heat. So look out for this matchup. It's going to be a good one, but I have to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning. Next matchup we have to talk about is the Los Angeles Rams going up against the San Francisco 49ers, a big-time matchup in the NFC West. Now, both teams essentially have the same record going into this matchup, and one is trying to break away from the other. Now, the 49ers have already beat the Rams one time this year, and I know the Rams still have that sour taste in their mouth, so they're going to try to get that away. Now, the Rams, led by Puka Nacua at the wide receiver position with 711 receiving yards. He's going to try to establish himself early. He's missed a couple of games this year, so I know he's trying to make up for that lost time. And the 49ers, you know, they have their jack of all trades, Christian McCaffrey. He's leading them in both receiving and rushing yards. Rushing yards, he has 596, and receiving, he has 627, which is unheard of for a running back. We will see what this matchup unfolds. I know both teams will be on the lookout for both of their playmakers, and it's going to be a defensive battle, as it always is in division games. But I have to rock with the Rams in this one just for the fact that they already lost to the 49ers one time this year, and I'm sure they don't plan on losing two times to them in 1 year. So look out for the Rams to win this game in San Francisco. It's going to be close. I know Mac Jones is going to be doing everything he can to get this win for the 49ers, but the Rams have too much this year, so I have to go with the Rams winning this ball game. Last matchup we certainly must talk about is the Monday night action between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers. A battle to see who's the real pretenders and who's the real contenders. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles are underdogs going into this matchup, which is absolutely absurd, having a record at 6-2, while the Green Bay Packers are 5-2-1 and coming off a terrible L to the Carolina Panthers at home last week. But that's all right. It's just going to be extra motivation for the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley. We love being underdogs. We love being overlooked because that just gives us more fuel to the fire. Now, the Packers are going to be shorthanded on Monday night because their number one receiver, Tucker Kraft, or the tight end, I should say, because he was playing like their number one receiver, he is out for the season with a torn ACL. And that's not great for the Packers because they already don't have that many wide receiver weapons for Jordan Love. And this is only downsizing their offense even more. Now, on the upside for the Eagles, we have everybody coming back for the defense. Brandon Graham is coming back out of retirement. Nolan Smith is looking to suit up Monday night. Ja'Cory Bennett is activated off of IR. And then Jalen Phillips and Jair Alexander are going to be locked in and loaded as well. And also Michael Carter II. So it's going to be a great matchup in Green Bay on Monday night. But I expect my Eagles to win and win in a comfortable fashion because we do not play about disrespecting Philadelphia. And to see us as underdogs for this game, I know my guys are locked in and loaded and ready to go. So, I got them Birds winning in a big-time fashion on Monday night. Now, let's talk basketball, guys. We have to start off with Luka Doncic because he is absolutely going berserk this year on the offensive end. Luka is the first player to record 200 points, 25 rebounds, and 25 assists through their first 5 games, and the first Laker player to score over 154 points in the first 4 games of a season. So that just tells you the offensive dominance Luka is exerting night in and night out on the floor. And all the great players that the Los Angeles Lakers have ever had, Luka is the first to put up that number within those amount of games, which is absolutely crazy to me. I can't wait to see what the Lakers do this year because they are 7-2, first in the Pacific Division. But Luka is not only doing it by himself, he has some great help this year. Austin Reeves is also hooping out of his mind. He's averaging 31 points going into the season so far and about 8 assists. So just dominant from him as well. Also, DeAndre Ayton is looking like he's getting back to his old self. He's averaging about 17 points a game and also 9 rebounds. So the Lakers are looking great. They are in a great position. JJ Redick is coaching his butt off right now. And I'm excited to see where this team goes. Now, they are missing one of their superstars, LeBron James. He hasn't played a game yet, still with sciatica. But as soon as he gets back, I know he will be looking to implement himself and get himself in there with those guys and just adding on to the team. So look out for those Los Angeles Lakers, man, because they look like they are definitely serious this year. As long as they keep this up, they will go as far as their superstars take them. Now, another player we have to put the spotlight on is Mr. Russell Westbrook, a.k.a. Mr. Triple-Double. The other night, Russell Westbrook made history, becoming the NBA's all-time leading rebounder for guards at a total of 8,734 rebounds and counting, which is amazing for a 6'4" guard. And not only did he do that, he also amassed another triple-double, which he is already the king of. He had 23 points, 16 rebounds, and 10 assists, adding on to his total of 204 career triple-doubles. We have to give Russ his flowers while he's still in the league because Russ is a guy who has just done it night in and night out. No matter what the circumstances are around him, he goes 1,000% every night. And I always loved and appreciate how Russ plays the game because his motor is always going. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He never gets tired. And I love that about Russ. Now, it was a lot of talk in the offseason that he was done. He needed to go overseas and explore other options. And I always thought that was crazy because Russell Westbrook is a first ballot Hall of Famer. If Chris Paul is still in the league, Russell Westbrook definitely deserves to be in this league because he is definitely better than Chris Paul right now. So shout out to Russell Westbrook. He has been a great addition for the Kings, even though they haven't had much success right now. He's averaging about 16 points, 5.5 assists, 7 rebounds. So he's definitely doing what he can to help them win. But it's going to take more than just him to turn things around, but we have to give Russ his flowers while he's still here, and I'm definitely going to do that. Shout out to Russell Westbrook for making history the other night and being an all-time leader for rebounds as a guard. Now, some not so good spotlight we have to talk about is Ja Morant beefing with the Memphis Grizzlies. This is not a great look for either side because Ja Morant was supposed to be the future of the franchise for Memphis, but it looks like he's ready to get out of there. He blamed his head coach the other night for not playing him that much and the reason for the team losing, which is never a good thing to do. Because if you are frustrated in public, that means you want out for sure. Now, Ja Morant is a great talent. He's averaging about 20 points per game right now and about 7 assists. But we know he has better caliber of talent than that. And I don't know if he's just ready for a different change of scenery or he's just not liking what the coaching staff is putting around him right now. But they have to get it figured out in Memphis because they're not headed in the right direction. They've only won 3 games so far this season. So we shall see if Ja Morant is on the move before the trade deadline. I think he may be on the move because it's just not looking too good for them, and they've already had enough trouble with Ja. So he probably will be on the move. I'm not sure where he will go. I know Miami could use a point guard. A couple other teams could use a guard, but they just have to be willing to take on what comes with Ja, which is you just don't know. So look out for Ja to be on the move before the trade deadline is over, and the Memphis Grizzlies will be having another face of their franchise. All right, guys, let's talk some college hoops. I want to talk about how the former and current NBA players' sons are currently taking over college hoops and who will do great at the next level, in my opinion. First, we have to start off with Cameron and Caden Boozer, the sons of legendary Duke University player Carlos Boozer. Then we have Cayenne Anthony at Syracuse University, the son of Carmelo Anthony. Then also we have Mr. Bryce James at Arizona University, the son of the GOAT himself, LeBron James. Then we have Andrei Stojakovic, the son of Peja Stojakovic at Illinois University. Also, we have Ashton Hardaway at Memphis University, the son of Penny Hardaway. Then we have Jake Wilkins, the son of Dominique Wilkins, the legendary Atlanta Hawk, and he's at Georgia University. Also, we have Elijah Arenas at USC, the son of Gilbert Arenas. Then we have Jermaine O'Neal Jr. at SMU, the son of Jermaine O'Neal Sr. Then we have Shakir O'Neal, the son of the legendary Shaq, and he's at Sacramento State right now. And we have Jakari Harris, the son of Glenn Robinson at Purdue. Also, we have Jace Howard at Fordham, the son of Jawan Howard. Then we have Justin Pippen at Cal, the son of Scottie Pippen. And then we also have Stephon Marbury II at Cal, the son of Stephon Marbury, of course. So we have a whole lot of NBA lineage in the college hoops world right now, and it's good to see because we were huge fans of all these guys growing up, their fathers, I should say. They made an impact on the game, and we all know who their names were. So now their sons are just trying to carry on that legacy. But in my opinion, it's only a couple of them that's going to live up to that legacy. The first person I think who's going to live up to that legacy is definitely Cameron Boozer. He has the NBA pedigree, like a video I did last week. He has all the skills he needs to become great at the next level. He's 6'9", 250 pounds, can shoot, dribble, knows how to drive, get to his spots. So he's just a great prospect for the next generation of the NBA. And also who I think will be great at the next level, Mr. Cayenne Anthony from Syracuse University. We have seen the work he has put in with his father all of his life from the social media posts. His dad showed how he worked with him, taught him the jab step growing up, taught him how to rip through defenders, drive, penetrate. And Cayenne is just showing that and putting it on display. His first game at Syracuse, he had 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists off the bench. So very effective in very short minutes, and that's good to see from Cayenne because he's a freshman this year and he's trying to make an impact on the college world. And I think he will just continue to get better and become a great NBA player himself. So I'm excited to see what Cayenne turns out to. And then also Elijah Arenas. I think he will be one of those ones in this class for sure. He hasn't suited up yet. I don't think he will this season because he had an injury, a meniscus injury. But he has definitely shown flashes in high school that he can be one of those ones. He has handles like I haven't seen in a long time, probably since like Jamal Crawford. He has those type of handles. He can do whatever he wants on the floor, shoot, get to the rack. He knows how to pass, facilitate. So just an all-around offensive mind right now. And I think with his father coaching him up, he's just going to continue to get better and better as well. So look out for Elijah Arenas as well. And I want to talk about Bryce James, but Bryce is just not there yet. We all know LeBron's sons are not that talented as him, but they still have potential because they have the skill set and they were trained up to be NBA players. So we will see where Bryce goes. He's not doing too much right now, but I'm not worried about him because he will find his niche soon and he will learn how to get to his spots once the game slows down. So I'm excited to see all these young guys because I was a huge fan of most of their dads. So excited to see what these kids can do on the collegiate level. So sticking with college hoops, we have to talk about this huge scandal that's going on right now. The NCAA and the FBI have launched an investigation on about 30 current and former NCAA Division I athletes because they were caught gambling on the sport. Now, unfortunately, this is an issue that keeps arising in sports because these young athletes are trying to take advantage of the system and honestly just trying to make a few extra dollars. And in a sense, I can't blame them. For one, because they're the ones who have to put in all this work and be on the floor. So they should be able to bet on the outcomes of the game. That's just like going to the YMCA and betting the opponent that you'll do this or you'll do that. If you ever been to a hood basketball game, that's typically how the games go. There's gambling involved on the floor. And for two, the NCAA has made billions off of these guys year in and year out. And they just now started paying these players, but the players can't take advantage of their own self and their own likeliness. And I just don't understand that, never have, because America was built on money and greed. So you can't expect these kids to act any differently when they see the whole world is trying to take advantage of making an extra dollar. So they're just trying to do the same. So the NCAA has to figure out this issue because it is definitely making the college world look bad right now because these kids, they want to make all the money they can. They're already getting NIL deals and most of them know they're not going pro. So that's just an extra incentive to take advantage of doubling their NIL monies. And gambling is the quickest way to do that. So the NCAA needs to figure this out and figure this out soon if they want to put out a polished product like they have been doing in the years past. All right, guys, let's talk some college football. I want to talk and see if the college football playoff committee got the rankings right so far. First, we have Ohio State. We all know they're number one in the nation right now. The number two in the nation is Indiana. Number three is Texas A&M. 4, Alabama. 5, Georgia. 6, Ole Miss. 7, BYU. 8, Texas Tech. 9, Oregon. 10, Notre Dame. 11, Texas. 12, Oklahoma. 13, Utah. 14, Virginia. 15, Louisville. 16, Vanderbilt. 17, Georgia Tech. And 18, Miami. And I'm not going any further than that because my Hurricanes are the lowest I need to go. So these teams, they are pretty much ranked in the right positions, I feel like. It's only a few teams that I think could be ranked a little bit higher. For one, I feel like BYU could be ranked higher, but it's hard to rank them above SEC teams because we all know the SEC is the most dominant conference in football. So I think they could maybe go up a slot or two, but for now, we'll keep them at 7. Then also Oregon, I feel like they are slightly better than Texas Tech. I might would have put them at the number 8 spot, but that's cool for right now. Notre Dame, they have slipped back into the top 10. I'm not sure how they did that because they took a bad loss to my Hurricanes in the beginning of the season, but they have been doing better these past couple of weeks, so I give them a pass for that. But the main ranking that I want to talk about is very disputable is the number 1 and number 2 spots. I feel like Indiana should be ranked number 1 in the nation, guys, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Indiana, they have played stiffer competition than Ohio State. Indiana, they beat number 9 Illinois. They beat them 63-10. Then they beat the number 3 team in the nation at the time, Oregon Ducks. They beat them 30-10. And then they just won in Maryland 55-10. They have beat more higher ranked teams than Ohio State, which is one up. And then also they have blown more people out than Ohio State, I feel like. They won games 73-0, 56-9, 55-6, 55-10. So Indiana is just putting up numbers this year. Ohio State did have their great week 1 win against the number 1 ranked Texas at the time, 14-7. But that wasn't really impressive to me because we saw how bad Texas looked the next couple of weeks and they were losing to unranked teams themselves. So that wasn't really impressive. Now, Ohio State, they did beat Illinois. They beat them 34-16 at Illinois. So that's a good win for them as well. But those are the only 2 ranked teams that they beat this year. Penn State was not ranked when they played. Wisconsin's not ranked. Minnesota's not ranked. So they're just beating up on teams that they're not expected to do anything. So in my opinion, I think with this schedule and this Indiana has beaten teams, I feel like they should be number 1. Now, I know they don't have the defense Ohio State does, but they definitely have an offense that can hang with anybody. So how these rankings turn out in the next couple of weeks, because I'm sure one of these teams will lose soon. But in my opinion, Indiana should be ranked number 1 right now because of the strength of schedule and how they're blowing teams out. Miami Hurricane fans, we have to talk about this terrible loss that we took last week against the SMU Ponies, 26-20 in overtime. I don't know about y'all, but I am sick and tired of Carson Beck. He is a scrub, and he has been costing us games for the last couple of weeks, and I am tired of it. And the worst part about it, he blames everybody but himself. He cannot take accountability whatsoever. He says the routes weren't run right. The play calling is off. Carson, you have the decision at the end of the day where the ball goes, and it is on you. So I cannot keep giving him passes. He's already 26 years old, almost double the age of most of the guys that are out there. So you have to stop making excuses, Carson, and find a way to win. The interception over the middle of the field in overtime is not going to get your team to win. I don't care what happened. You threw that ball. We've had to find out what we have from Carson if we want to make the college football playoffs, which I doubt we will now because last year we lost 2 games on the back end of the season, and the committee said, well, y'all going to the Pop-Tart Bowl. So we're probably headed in that direction this year again because we looked terrible against SMU. SMU had a field day in the pass game. He threw for about 365 yards and a touchdown. Then they had Jordan Hudson with 11 catches and 136 yards. So just a terrible performance from the defense. Now, it's hard to perform well when your offense is not giving you much breathing room to do anything. So can't blame the defense too much, but I have to put this on Carson Beck. And Mario Cristobal, our head coach, I have to give him the blame too because the play calling has been terrible. These last couple of weeks been looking very elementary, just doing basic inside zones, basic RPOs, nothing really spectacular. If we didn't have Malachi Tony, CJ Daniels, guys that can make plays on simple routes, I don't know what this offense would look like. It's something that needs to be fixed in Miami. I don't know if Cristobal is the guy to do it. I thought he was at the beginning of his tenure because he did look like he was turning things around, but he's just shown that he cannot win in crunch time games. And that is unfortunate because he looks like he wants to bring back that old U culture, but he has to be better in crunch time situations. So hopefully next year we'll get it together, Hurricane fans, and figure these things out because we have too much talent to be wasting. So look out for the Miami Hurricanes once again next year. All right, guys. Well, that's a wrap for episode 11 of Ball Talk with Paul. Today we talked some NFL blockbuster moves, some NBA chaos, and some college commotion because you know we love to talk it all here at Ball Talk. So make sure you like, subscribe, and drop your takes in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Will Luka win MVP? Who won the NFL trade deadline? And does Miami need to move on from Carson Beck? So please, just let me know in the comments. I appreciate you guys rocking with me as always. We're going to keep it real here at Ball Talk, and we keep the same energy week in and week out. So until next time, I'm your host, Paul, and we're out.